Pete, you're about to experience something great.
All right.
I'm doing a webinar in the middle of the conference.
All right, I'll tweet it.
I definitely don't feel that comfortable about this, but I may, but we'll see. We'll see, maybe.
It's an inaugural webinar.
Well, it's yeah, we'll see. We'll see if it comes out the way it's supposed to. Let's see. Hi everyone, I just want to do a quick sound check. I'm here with Alicia Katz-Pollock from Royal Wise.
Royal Wise Solutions, yeah.
Alicia, why do you love training?
Why do I love training? I have been a natural teacher ever since I was a little kid. I was the second grader who was helping the kindergartners learn how to spell was and see. And so I've been teaching my whole life. I have a master's in teaching, and I thought I was going to work with middle school English classes.
Yeah.
And I got there and I was like, oh my God, these kids are full of hormones and I just don't want to. So I started teaching adults instead.
Adults accounting.
Yeah.
Or other things.
I started with Microsoft Office. I started with Word and Excel, and then I became Apple certified. And then because I was doing business system technology, everybody started asking me about QuickBooks. And so I learned how to use QuickBooks and I discovered I had actually a knack for it.
Yep.
And that I loved it and it fit my geek brain really well. And so it's a perfect merge of my abilities as a trainer and my geek girl passions.
Awesome. What's the best thing about this conference?
The networking.
Why should people invest?
Oh, the networking, the food, the fun. Anybody who, if you think, oh, an accounting conference, that's going to be really boring, you got it completely backwards.
I'm at QuickBooks Connect in San Jose, California. And you can see there's the Intuit booth is right over there. And then we have the T-Sheets booth. And I don't know where the Hot Dog booth is. And then there's Aero booth and a whole bunch of other vendors. There's Pete. So Pete decided to have lunch at the same time that I'm doing a webinar, and he's tweeting about it right now. So, all right. So what I like to do is So I'm doing this for the folks that wish they could come to this conference and they couldn't do it, and they follow us in QE Power Hour, and we're really appreciative of the loyalty of our viewers. You know, hundreds and thousands of accountants watch this webinar series, also watch the recordings, and they come to me in this conference. They come to me and they genuinely thank me and thank us for what we do. So I wanted to, this is definitely beyond my comfort zone. I'm kind of a perfectionist. I don't like doing things that are not perfect or as close to perfect as I can. In the middle of the conference hall, I don't know how it's gonna come out.
What's the equation for people who might be thinking about this, thinking about getting started? You know, when should they commit to something like video versus something, you know, like a more traditional blogging style, or even just, you know, standard advertisement?
So not all customers buy right after they see a video. Mm-hmm. And it is likely that a lot of the customers that I've done business with have never even been to YouTube. So I am not saying that you should absolutely do everything in YouTube and that's the only way to get customers. However, the customer that I want is the that self-starter that's trying to figure out how to do things right, because they want to make sure their books are correct, because they're passionate about getting real-time information, but then get stuck because they need a person that lives and breathes this stuff to kind of get them over that hump. So I want to attract that customer that is savvy enough to be dangerous at it, right? And but then will truly value a much limited time from me, because I will give them those quick answers, and I don't want to say I can charge more, but because I can provide a lot more value, I don't need to spend as much time to have an impact as if I were going to do traditional accounting. So I want to attract that customer, the YouTube watcher, and I also want to attract influencers. I'm actually putting myself out there because I want fellow influencers, not in the profession, but you know, folks that are out there delivering their message with a home business or whatever. I want them to see, oh, there's an accountant that's a YouTuber. I think he will understand me. So I will obviously love to engage with those folks. We'll see. So what I'll do is I'm gonna share my screen And what I'll attempt to do is I'll attempt to do a sort of a quick version, if I can, of the presentation I taught yesterday, which is called YouTube is the New Business Card. It won't be the same because that was a 100-minute webinar, but it will be close to it, or some of the ideas from it will come along. We'll see how far we can go. If I can go the full hour, I'll do it. Hey, I'm here with Cindy Squires.
Hello.
And
No, we got a photo.
say something interesting.
Something interesting. I can't. No. We're here at the Tech Museum. For a reception here right before QuickBooks Connect. Networking and meeting people, and gonna learn a whole bunch of things.
And people are making fun of me because I can do this with a phone.
Yes.
I don't need this big thing to do it.
You don't. No. That's okay.
Am I making a statement? Maybe.
I love it. I love it.
Okay.
Everyone knows it's you though.
Okay. What is the best session you're looking forward to seeing, other than mine?
Well, I was gonna say the YouTube session.
Of course.
Yeah.
Welcome everyone to QB Power Hour. Today's Thursday, 16, and I'm broadcasting live from San Jose, California. We are at the beautiful San Jose Convention Center, and it's literally the coolest and the gold standard of convention centers. Also, Intuit does an incredible, fantastic job at putting this conferences together. The food is great. The people that come along are great. The presenters are awesome. The main stage was incredible. Sasan, I don't know how to pronounce his last name, who's sort of kind of next in line after Brad Smith, the CEO, and kind of heads the whole QuickBooks world, did a live demonstration of a beta of a phone app that you could talk to, and it uses voice recognition to do actions. So for example, he was saying stuff like, hey QuickBooks, what's my revenue for last month? And it would recognize it and turn it into a revenue report from last month. And he did, hey Intuit, how does it compare to last year? And it did a comparison. So what they did is they're mixing the data that's in QuickBooks, financial data that's in QuickBooks, with voice recognition. And they're really taking it to the next level in terms of making it really, really easy for the mobile business owner to ask about the finances.
What's your advice for people who see that, who see a camera or a microphone and they're like, I don't want anything to do with that. That is super anxiety producing. I don't want to go anywhere near it.
Look, I don't think every single accountant out there should have a YouTube channel. Mm-hmm. Now, could they? Yes. But should you try? I think yes. Mm-hmm. And if you're going to be nervous and you're not going to be able to get over that hump, then it's probably you're not going to be able to be the best of yourself in it. Mm-hmm. But what I'm going to say is, look, we already talk to people. I'm already sitting here talking to you. There's cameras in front of me, right? That does up, I am more nervous than I would if we were just casually speaking. Mm-hmm. But we already do this in real life. We talk to people. We discover things along the way. We brainstorm. We give ideas. We share ideas. You have to try to just tune them out. Mm-hmm. Tune out the cameras. Tune out the webcam. Whatever happens to be, just tune it out. And if you have a message to give, whether you think it's good or bad, you will never know who's listening. Brandon, come here for a second.
Yes.
So Brandon is so this is what we're doing.
Yes.
This is a live QB Power Hour webinar.
Okay, wow, great.
In the middle of the floor. Pretty ambitious.
Fantastic, yes.
Pretty ambitious. Brandon heads the Pro Advisor.
Yes, Pro Advisor program globally, all training and certification for accounting professionals.
He's a great guy. I didn't like him at first. He's getting a little bit better. So thanks for coming in.
Yeah.
You can go along the business now.
All right, well, good luck.
Yeah, thank you.
Bye, everyone.
Okay. Sorry about that. I like to mess with people.
I'm like, hello. I'm like, you should have put the people. It's like when we go to church that they move the people, and like you have. Well, they should have compressed them. Yes, so it looks more populated because you have two overflows outside. I'm like, hello, you have.
1.3 billion people use YouTube. 1.3 billion people. 20% of the population of the world. I mean, that's huge. 30 million visitors per day. 80% of folks under 50 watch at least one YouTube video a month. 80%. That's everybody, pretty much. Now, 52% of YouTube views come from mobile devices. what is happening is folks are watching videos while they're in line to buy something, while they're in bed right before they go to bed, with the waterproof phones. I'm sure some people are watching videos in the shower. Well, actually, let's not get into that. But it does change the context of what would the call to action of a video would be, and you have to think about this when you create your own YouTube videos. What is the call to action and what is the branding element of your video when your customer, or 52% of your customers, are not sitting in front of a computer, and whatever the call to action is, it's not going to be something through a computer. So you have to think about what is the branding element that you need to have in order for folks to want to watch your videos. I had a person earlier tell me, "Hi Hector, I forgot her name, I'm sorry. You are in my kitchen table every other Thursday for breakfast." So she's taking her iPad, she's putting it on the kitchen table, she's having hold on, Laura, come here. Sorry. So we're doing a live webinar.
Hi.
Yes. What were your sessions about?
Workflow, as you can guess.
Say it
The
louder.
Intentional Firm, how to deliver great customer service.
Good. Laura is one of the partners in Arrow Workflow. Run along now. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Bye, bye, bye.
That was great. Okay, sorry about that. Okay, so where was I? Okay, so I'm here with the man himself.
So I just gotta look at you.
Don't worry about it, man. I'm here with D. Joe Woodard, a role model for a lot of pro advisors, a person that has really helped a lot of pro advisors with your conference. And it's always an honor to see you speak and to speak at your conference. But you do have a couple of really cool sessions you're talking about here in QuickBooks Connect. So can you give me a Reader's Digest version of the first session that you did yesterday, I believe?
Yeah, well, I did a couple yesterday, but the one that I want to talk about.
Influencers, not your traditional celebrity. This guy, his name is PewDiePie. He started his YouTube channel 7 years ago. He was literally playing video games and cursing at the TV. And now the guy made YouTube reported $7 million worth of ad revenue because of his YouTube channel. His YouTube channel has 56 million views. Listen to me, I can no longer morally tell my daughter or my son that you cannot make a living playing video games. I cannot. This is the new economy, okay? We don't know what's coming. I don't know what's coming.
Yeah.
But the folks that are doing different things, the folks that are doing the stuff that everybody told you can't do, it's the stuff that works. People are buying from contrarians. People like different. Everybody likes different. There's so much noise, so much content. People want the one little thing that stands out. But not that stands out to them, because I may be the same to some folks, and I may be different to some folks. All right, man. Who are you, my friend?
I'm Matt Donaldson, and I work for Expensify.
What is Expensify?
Expensify does expense reports that don't suck. It's on the back of the t-shirt there.
Love it.
Best, comfiest t-shirts in the world, by the way.
Can you get me one?
Yes, we've got plenty for you.
Now, Facebook Live is a really interesting concept, because once you press that live button, there's no editing, there's no stopping it. And I think a lot of the viewers like the fact that it's live and raw. Remember, what's TV looking like nowadays? TV is all reality TV. Facebook is how you can do your own reality TV off your own, only sharing to your friends, off the cuff, with errors, no need for editing. And folks are really liking this. Hey, what's up, man? Seth, come here for a second. Guys, we're gonna take a quick pause. I'm gonna bring a guest speaker.
Okay. Are we live?
Yeah, you're live. Not here, it's a webinar.
Okay.
So sit down. So I did not prepare Seth for it. About the sessions that you talked about. There was a session you talked about yesterday about leadership, was it?
Yeah, well, today I'm talking leadership a little bit later this afternoon, and in that session, I'm connecting what is a void in the accounting space to the very results people are trying to generate. Accountants don't necessarily connect that leadership is essential to value creation and to the kinds of firms that will scale and scale in a profitable way.
So simultaneously recording. I didn't prepare Seth for it. Seth, tell us about monetizing your video platforms in a paid content. Like, how do you get folks to watch free stuff and then pay for your stuff?
Okay, so, and I want to actually, while I'm answering that, pick up on what you talked about in your session yesterday. which is, there's a couple ways to really monetize your content, especially when we're talking about video content on YouTube, and you mentioned Vimeo and Wistia and some others, and you asked me, which one I use. I use Vimeo, and I'll make a very long story very short. Many years ago, when my new YouTube channel was still fairly new, and I was doing a lot of experimenting and seeing what I could do, what I couldn't do, I got the notification saying, hey, you should monetize your videos on YouTube, you're getting traction. And I did it, and then one day, I don't know, maybe a year later, I got this lovely email from YouTube saying, hey, by the way, we've made a determination that we've decided you're now a threat to our advertisers and you're no longer going to be able to monetize on YouTube.
Can you explain monetizing on YouTube?
Right, so monetizing on YouTube, and this is what I'm getting at in the bigger picture, is there are two ways to monetize. This is one way where you actually go into the settings and turn on the feature and say, I want to monetize my videos, which means as people come and watch your videos, they're going to be presented with ads and things, and if they click on those ads, and it generates revenue for YouTube, and you get a share of that. So that's one way to monetize on YouTube, is to leverage the money that YouTube is already making off your videos, so you might as well get your cut, right? So it kind of makes sense to do it if you're not already. But in my case, they shut me down, and they don't tell you why. They don't explain, hey, this is what you're doing. They don't give you a chance to cure the defect. They just tell you, sorry, and I've appealed it many times.
But I covered all disruptive technologies: artificial intelligence, blockchain, data automation, machine learning. And I broke each one of those down, and I talked about what impact those are going to have on the profession, what impact they're having now, what impact they're going to have in the future, and what I project that's going to happen. All right, and then I talked about the accountant's response. This is not something where we're talking about just your normal technological disruption. We're talking about what specialists are calling the fourth industrial revolution. It's a massive change in the way that the economies of the world work, and it's technology driven. For the first time, Hector, in all of these industrial revolutions, because we are on our fourth one, starting with the cotton gin on the first one, this is the first one that affects the professions. So your folks need to tune in, watch that, and see how and how to
master of your craft and have a platform to share that. And I believe that video, it is the best platform to do that. Now, I have to boost the audio. Let me do it again.
Okay. Okay, so you said it, pull this in, or you want to
start? The whole thing. This is how accountants, accounting professions need to do their marketing. We need to add value up front. We need to give folks really good tips while we're also talking about our product, which is our services. So we almost have to do this infomercial type of work. That is the new marketing. Now, think about being in a networking event. And you meet someone, they ask you, what do you do? And you say, I'm an accountant. And they tell you, you know what? Last year I paid a lot of penalties on my taxes. And you as an accountant, the first thing you're gonna do is you're gonna reach to your pocket, grab a business card and say, call me, I'll help you solve the issue. Now, I don't need to do that. I have a YouTube video that explains what every single IRS penalty is, and interprets that information from the really strange tax code and IRS instructions that tell you what a penalty is. I have it. So while other folks are out there giving business cards trying to find folks that have tax problems, folks are trying to figure out if a video on YouTube is giving them the answers in terms of why are they getting penalties, and they're calling me. I've had 3 leads, 2 turn into customers that saw this very video that said clearly my accountant either doesn't know how penalties work or couldn't even explain it to me. Right? I want to work with an accountant that knows how things work and is okay with explaining things to me. So this is a very effective way of marketing, especially if you know how to do something, if you're a master of your craft. Why not tell people, why not show it off? So train the machine to do the things that are low value, repetitive, so we can spend more time to think and play and build relationships and empathy. So we feel our customers, they feel us, and the service of accounting becomes something entirely different than what we're used to.
Yes, absolutely, that's it.
Thank you so much, Joe. I look forward to scaling new heights.
Yeah, thank you, Hector.
Thank you.